wisdom of the ages. This wisdom was not found in textbooks alone. It was earned on the battlefields and in the trenches of armed struggle, in the hushed corridors of clandestine diplomacy, through the patient, often perilous work of political mobilization, in the unyielding spirit of communities resisting oppression, and in the profound understanding that true liberation is won not just with weapons, but with unity, vision, and an unshakable belief in justice. The wisdom of our collective is the wisdom of resilience, knowing how to endure against overwhelming odds. It is the wisdom of strategy, understanding when to fight, when to negotiate, and how to build alliances. It is the wisdom of Ubuntu, recognizing that our humanity is bound together. It is the wisdom of sacrifice, the countless heroes and heroines who paved the way, whose spirits undoubtedly join us in remembrance tonight. And most importantly, it is the wisdom of vision, the ability to imagine a future where our peoples are truly emancipated and chart the course towards it. Tonight, under the banner of wisdom of ages, we celebrate this shared heritage. We celebrate the triumph of the human spirit over injustice. We celebrate the deep bonds of solidarity that connected our struggles across borders. Bonds that remain vital today as we confront new challenges in building prosperous, equitable, united, and peaceful Africa. This dinner is more than a meal. It is a communion of shared history and shared purpose. It is an opportunity to reflect on the immense journey traveled, to honor the sacrifices made, and to draw strength and insight from the collective wellspring of experience represented here. The wisdom you bring to this summit, born from the ages of struggle and the years of building, is invaluable as we deliberate on our common future. As we gather as leaders, as comrades who have walked similar paths, may this evening foster deep connection, reflection, and renewed camaraderie. Shared stories, renew old friendships, forge new ones, and let the spirit of solidarity that defined our liberation era fill this room. So let us rededicate ourselves to the timeless values embodied by the giants of our revolutions, on whose shoulders we continue to stand as we navigate an uncertain future and new challenges. To the enduring spirit of solidarity that continues to bind us, and we chart a common future where a better life for all is a lived reality of all our peoples. To the wisdom of the ages embodied in each of you, which must guide our deliberations and actions for generations to come. To the continued progress, unity, and prosperity of the peoples of our region, our continent, and the world, as we forge new paths towards the realization of the African Union's Agenda 2063, built on the cornerstones of a better, united, and peaceful Africa and a better world. Enjoy the evening, esteemed guests, and welcome to South Africa, esteemed comrades. Aluta continua, Nkosi Sikelela, Africa, Amandla. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Secretary General, Chair of the Liberation Movement's secretaries and the host for tonight. Without any further waste of time, I'm going to invite our elder, a veteran, an activist, a comrade who hails from Mozambique, but represent many of us and our organizations over time who has graced this occasion, and it is none other than His Excellency, Comrade Joaquim Chissano, the former president of Mozambique and the former president of Frelimo. Amandla, forward with the spirit of solidarity, forward.
Comrade Fikile Mbalula, Secretary General of the ANC, leaders of the liberation movements, dear comrades, ladies and gentlemen. It is with deep sense of honor and responsibility that I stand here today in this moment of reflection and renewal with all the comrades and friends present. This summit, more than just an event, is a unique opportunity for us to reflect on the legacy of the liberation movements, the challenges we face, and most importantly, the role we must play now and in future of our countries and our continent. I would like to begin by expressing my profound honor. I will say it even if he is not here, but I know that he will be speaking here. So I wanted to cut this paragraph, but I keep it because it means a lot. I would like to begin by expressing my profound honor in sharing this moment of reflection with the Comrade President Thabo Mbeki, whose strategic vision and commitment to African unity continued to be inexhaustible sources of inspiration. His leadership has been a vital pillar in the struggle for a free, just and prosperous Africa. And it is with great appreciation that I share this space of reflection alongside with him. I am equally proud to greet all the national liberation movements present here today. ANC of South Africa, Frelimo of Mozambique, MPLA of Angola, SWAPO of Namibia, CMC of Tanzania, ZANU-PF from Zimbabwe, let me add UNIP from Zambia. Each of these movements carries a legacy of courage, sacrifice, and commitment to the ideals of freedom, dignity, and justice. Our peoples will never forget the bravery demonstrated in the political, diplomatic, cultural, and in the cultural struggle and in the trenches of the armed struggle for self-determination and independence. And it is with this spirit of unity that we continue to move forward, working towards the building of a more just and equal societies. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to the friendly parties that are present here, whose historical solidarity with our causes has been crucial to our trajectory. Your unwavering support over the years has strengthened our struggles and provided a clear example that when we are united for justice and freedom, we can go further. Your presence here is undoubtedly a testament to the continuation of our common work and commitment to the vision of a truly free and integrated Africa. Comrades, when we look back, it is impossible not to evoke the names of the giant liberators who preceded us. Men like Eduardo Shivambu Mondlane, Julius Nyerere, Oliver Tambo, Samora Machel, Agostinho Neto, Kenneth Kaunda, Sam Nujoma, Robert Mugabe, and of course, Nelson Mandela. I would mention many more from South Africa whom we have known, but because all are equally important, I will not do that because I may put some aside. These leaders were not only figures in our historical memory, but the pillars that supported liberation movements. They represented the courage to confront oppressions, the fight for self-determination, and above all, the commitment to human dignity and the progress of our nations. Their memory must serve as a source of inspiration, but also as an innovation to deep reflection. Today, as we remember these heroes and heroines, we must ask ourselves, are we living up to the legacy they left behind? Are we building the future they envisioned for us? That is a question that should accompany us in every moment of our political action. The transition from the battlefield to the exercise of state power was undoubtedly one of the greatest challenges we faced. We inherited countries devastated by war, poverty, and exclusion. We assumed the responsibility of governing fragile nations with weak or non-existing institutions, but with immense hope placed on our shoulders. What have we done with that hope? How have we responded to the expectations of our peoples? What have we done with the legitimacy we gained on the battlefront? We have a lot of good things we did. We created the basis for the emergence of a generation of young men and young women with a new outlook. Young people who have some capacity to question and to lead. They have already started to look for the ways to innovation. Those bases were hardly created. Therefore, they are a success. They are a step forward towards more capable generations to transform our natural resources that are our virtual riches today. Because all of us, we say, my country is very rich, but impoverished. We repeat it. Well, we mean the minerals which are underground. We mean all what is not yet exploited. And so this is a potential wealth for our people. We have to stop and start having a real wealth to be useful to our people. That's why I'm saying this generation are a step forward towards more capable generations to transform our natural resources that are our virtual riches today into practical and useful wealth to benefit our people. Yes, a lot has been done in the fields of education and health, if we take into account that in the case of Mozambique, where at the date of proclamation of the national independence, we had only one single university. Today, we have more than 60 institutions of higher education with Mozambican lecturers and professors, while at the beginning they were all foreigners. Yes, a lot of things that cannot be neglected were achieved. However, comrades, it is crucial that we recognize that over time we made mistakes. In many of our countries, we witnessed the weakening of democratic institutions, the growing distance between parties and citizens, the capture of public resources by private interests, and intolerance towards dissenting voices. In the name of unity, we silenced critical voices. In the name of stability, we closed the spaces for renewal. In the name of continuity, we did not create spaces for the active participation of youth and women in decision-making processes. And acknowledging these shortcomings does not diminish our historical legitimacy. On the contrary, it strengthens our ability to learn and correct our course when necessary. The struggle for liberation was not limited to defeating colonialism and apartheid. It was and must continue to be a struggle against all forms of domination, exclusion, and injustice, even when these practices arise within our own power structures. Comrades, the African youth, who represent the majority of our population, no longer identify with the old speeches. They want more than words. They demand concrete actions. They cry out for employment opportunities, access to quality education, for technical and technological training, and technological training that will enable them to face future challenges, and for active participation in political decisions. The youth do not want to be mere beneficiaries of development. They want to be protagonists in the process. And it is our duty as heirs to the liberation struggles to create space and incentives for this youth to become the driving force of transformation. The economic liberation has been part of the objectives of our liberation movements. It is urgent that the liberation movements renew themselves. The transformation of our parties must begin with a renewed commitment to transparency, good governance, and social justice. We can no longer govern with the same old methods. We need new cadres, new ideas, a new way of doing politics in this world of enormous mutations. Good governance cannot just be an empty promise. It must be a constant practice. Public power must be exercised with the responsibility, commitment to the common good, and complete transparency. We cannot allow the interests of groups of individuals to prevail over the interests of our peoples. Comrades, regional integration must be more than a speech. We must have concrete action plans to promote cooperation between our countries, facilitate trade, improve mobility of people and goods, and build a more stable and prosperous Southern Africa. We must work together to transform the borders inherited from colonialism into bridges of union, not barriers to our collective progress. Ultimately, our renewal must be a concrete action, not just a speech. Globalization, climate change, economic crisis, and new technologies require fast and effective responses. Africa cannot continue to be a spectator on the world stage. It must be a protagonist with a voice and power to influence global decisions. It was for these purposes that in order to ensure victory in the liberation struggle, we joined our hands, heads, and hearts within the Pan-Africanist movement for East, Central, and Southern Africa, PAFMEXA. Later, coordinated our diplomatic battles within the Organization of the African Unity, namely within the OAU Liberation Committee, which also coordinated the armed struggle. And we went further to create the Frontline States, the Frontline States Group, and SADC with 2 Cs, SADCC. It is worth it to recall the enthusiasm with which we united ourselves to develop our economic corridors, our electrical grids, the management of our rivers, and our cross-border game parks, just to mention a few examples of important collective undertakings. Comrades, I conclude this speech with an appeal to all of us. We must make historical memory a driver of transformation. We cannot allow the mistakes of the past to erase the greatness of what we have achieved, but neither can we be content with the past. Transformation is an ongoing process that requires courage, reflection, and concrete action. The liberation movements must continue to be not only guardians of the past, but also firm guides for building of a better future, knowing that this is an endless task for the well-being of our people, for our people, for the well-being of our people. I'm sorry, I read again. The liberation movements must continue to be not only guardians of the past, but also firm guides for building of a better future, knowing that this is a endless task, for the well-being of our people must be improved all the time. We have to surpass ourselves from success to success. We must be capable of leading our peoples towards the construction of a more and more free, just, and prosperous Africa. Let us remember that all of this can be achieved only when we live and work in peace, which is sustained by a permanent dialogue among all of us. History has given us a great mission, and it is our responsibility to fulfill this mission with honor and dedication. We must be the architects of a future that is truly free, just, and prosperous for all. Thank you very much for your attention and commitment.
Another round of applause for Comrade President Chissano. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to be served with the starters as we invite our beloved kids from Namibia, from Angola. Yes, let's give them a round of applause as they come to entertain us, and starters are served.
Somakala walo nanga itali waiwala kaiwa somakala walo nanga we itali waiwala kaiwa somakala walo nanga itali waiwala kaiwa somakala walo nanga itali waiwala. Yongo walando mola ye.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. We are Aisi Dangon, and we will have fun today with you representing our beautiful culture in 3, 2, 1.
Amiga, sabe o que ele me fez? Me mordeu na bochecha, me arranhou na cintura, me deu soco do peito, sem falar daquelas vacilas. Me regou toda a roupa, me empurrou na botija, me toca a panela de sopa, no dia seguinte tô rixa. Betinho é mamá, Betinho, 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 Betinho. É pra fazer isso na vida alheia, não me entendi. Betinho, um homem bonito, alto, charmoso e muito especial. Me trouxe louca aqui pra banda e me tirou já de Portugal. E vivia muito tudo e me dava tudo. O povo dizia que é pemba e me avisaram que ele era bruto e que gostava de samba. Mas eu não acreditei, sempre pensei que só fosse boatos. Em casa é tão gentil que até ele mesmo que lava os pratos. Mas como é que todos conseguem dizer que esse meu homem tem pemba? Não dei ouvidos, mas não quis ver até chegar o azar. Tava numa borda, me mordeu na bochecha, me arranhou na cintura, me deu soco do peito, sem falar daquelas vacilas. Me regou toda a roupa, me empurrou na botija, me deu com a panela de sopa, no dia seguinte tô rixa. Betinho é mamá, Betinho, Betinho, Betinho. É o seguinte, minhas irmãs.
DJ Mano Capa.
Toca, 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 toca. Para, toca. Toca.
DJ Léo.
Minha irmã agora aguenta já. Toca, 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 toca. Toca, toca, toca. Para, toca.
DJ Léo.
Solta.
Antes de onde fiz agachamento.
Pelo menos mexe na bundinha, a bundinha, a bundinha. Quero ver você mexer a bundinha, a bundinha, a bundinha.
Sofia já me sinto bem, e vacina com ela. Sofia já me sinto bem, e vacina com ele. Acaba comigo.
Ai, vem, sintonia, vem. Tava mix.
Eu só quero ver a bolinha na roda, pá. A bolinha na roda, né? A bolinha na roda, pá. A mulata na roda, né?
Vamos ver a bunda no ar.
E aí, começa a flutuar.
Vamos ver a bunda no ar.
E aí, começa a flutuar.
Muda
Thank you very much to the band. Let's now welcome the marimba group from Zimbabwe with a warm round of applause. Over to you, comrades. That's the Marimba Band from Zimbabwe. Another round of applause. Thank you very much. We are now proceeding with our program. I can see there's some activity happening on the other side. If we could just move quietly. And may we please be seated. Comrade Secretary General, the chair of the Secretaries General, we have various cultural groups coming from our 6 sister countries performing here tonight, deliberately to show our cultural diversity, the strength that we have, as well as the potential to promote people-to-people relations. And for that, we are quite grateful of the work that has been done by our comrades from all the liberation movements who have made it possible that we have these groups here tonight, and they will be with us throughout this weekend. I'm going to request that we take our seats. Comrades, right there on my left-hand side at the back. Thank you very much. We are now going to invite the Deputy President of the African National Congress, Comrade Paul Sipokosha Mashatile, to come to the podium and give us reflections on the present. Deputy President Mashatile.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our Program Director, First Deputy Secretary General of the African National Congress, Comrade Nomvula Mukonyane. Our host this evening, Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Figile Mbalula, esteemed presidents, deputy presidents, and former presidents of our liberation movements, our veteran leader, Comrade Joachim Chissano, and Comrade Thabo Mbeki, who I'm told will join us tomorrow, heads of delegations from sister parties and observer organizations, all respected Secretary Generals here present, members of the National Executive Committees, the veterans, the Women and Youth League from all our various fraternities, our alliance partners here present, COSATU, SANCO, and the South African Communist Party. I saw the national chairperson of the SACP earlier, Comrade Blade Nzimande. Excellencies, ambassadors and high commissioners, members of the diplomatic corps, delegates from observer organizations, including the Pan-African Youth Union, Pan-African Women's Organization, and the Young Women of Africa. Comrades and friends, fellow revolutionaries, it is an honor to stand before you tonight among brothers and sisters from sister liberation movements, comrades with whom we have shared trenches, dreams, pains, and history. Tonight is not just a dinner, It is a reunion of the soul of Africa and her allies, forged in fire and grounded in a vision for justice and human dignity. As we reflect on the present, we must also remember our treacherous journey towards liberation. That journey was marked by sacrifices, resilience, and unwavering determination to secure freedom, equality, and justice for our people. Tonight, we gather under the proud banners of our movements that refuse to accept colonialism as a fate. Movements that made the mountains shake and empires tremble. Movements that lit torches of freedom in Angola, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, Tanzania, and far beyond. We also recall that the project to dismantle apartheid, racism, colonialism, and hate was one which profited from international solidarity with the OAU Liberation Committee, as well as the progressive diaspora and friends at the forefront. We must also recall that our struggles were not simply for political independence, but for the total liberation of our people, economic, cultural, intellectual, and social. It was Thomas Sankara who reminded us that, and I quote, "He who feeds you controls you," close quote. Comrades, Sankara reminds us that liberation is incomplete if we do not own the means of production. If our economies remain trapped in colonial structures, and if we remain dependent on others to feed our people, employ our youth, or even write our policies, the time has come to ensure that the hard-fought-for democratic dividend become a lived reality for our masses. Thus, we have the urgent task to reasset the soul of our movement in the 21st century. We cannot become custodians of yesterday's glory while today's youth are unemployed, disillusioned, or even migrating. We must become engines of transformation, homes of ideology, and centers of accountability. Tonight, we honor those who walked this road before us, and we reflect on the kind of legacy we ought to leave behind. After all, collectively, we are the stewards of these hard-won freedoms. Our people did not fight for elite enrichment, factionalism, or bureaucracies that are indifferent to suffering. We must ask ourselves, are our movements still vehicles of justice, or have they become platforms for status and convenience? It was Che Guevara who said, and I quote, "A true revolutionary is guided by a great feeling of love. It is impossible to think of a genuine revolutionary lacking this quality," close quote. Che Guevara's words remind us that revolution without love becomes mechanical. Let us lead with love, love for the landless, for the excluded, for women whose struggles continues on all fronts, for the workers who are told to wait whilst wealth multiplies elsewhere, and the youth who are told to wait for tomorrow. Our unity as liberation movement is not symbolic, it is strategic. The enemies of our people are reorganizing. Imperialism has rebranded, but it is no less exploitative. Multinationals controls our minds, our data, our narratives, and even our elections. That has replaced the chains of slavery. Artificial intelligence and technology, if left unregulated, will create a new digital divide deeper than apartheid ever was. This gathering, therefore, stands at a crossroads. Consequently, it must serve not only as a remembrance, but also as a recommitment. A commitment to address remaining challenges and focus on sustainable development. Let us renew our ideological clarity. Let us reclaim the narrative of transformation. Let us reaffirm our commitment to international solidarity, not as a memory of the past, but as a living force for change in the present and the future. This will require that we double down on our current approach to international relations within the Southern African region. That approach is informed by our historical experience and relationship with the frontline states that were forged during our protracted years of struggle for liberation against racism, colonialism, and apartheid. Taking cue from these lived experiences, the South African G20 presidency has resolved to focus on solidarity, equality, and sustainability. At its core, as affirmed by Minister Ronald Lamola recently, South Africa's G20 presidency recognizes that the challenges we face are not isolated. They are interconnected and escalating. Geopolitical divisions are widening, economic tensions are rising, and the devastating impacts of climate change are accelerating. We have also noted the growing tendencies to unilateralism. These right-wing populist-led tendencies undermine global collective decision and, if left unfettered, stand to undermine global peace and security. We cannot afford to let these fractures deepen. Therefore, solidarity demands that we recommit to multilateralism and dialogue. Equality requires us to confront the stark disparities between the global north and the global south, and sustainability is therefore the cornerstone of our collective future. Comrades, we therefore have the obligation to recalibrate the global balance of forces in favor of progressive forces. With a renewed scramble for Africa by both traditional and emerging powers, the challenge has become more nuanced. These nuances have taken political, economic, and military dimensions. Thus, in navigating these new global realities, we must continue to be guided by the principles that have guided our movement so far. This includes self-determination, anti-imperialism, social and economic justice, and the pursuit of equality and freedom. Comrades, we therefore take this opportunity to reiterate our unwavering support and solidarity with the people of Palestine, Cuba, and Sahrawi, and all marginalized people of the world. We also take this opportunity to also call for dialogue in the conflict ravaging areas in the Horn of Africa and elsewhere. It is the grass that suffers when the elephants are at war. We are told that the war in the Sudan has severely affected millions of women and children, with over half of the 24.6 million people requiring humanitarian assistance being women and children. This is far more than those who have been affected in Gaza and Ukraine. Yet the world has turned a blind eye on Africa. Comrades, the oppressors and real fathers of the wars and conflicts have no motivation for peace. Remember the words of Kwame Nkrumah, who stated the following: "It is far easier for the proverbial camel to pass through the needle's eye, hump and all, than for an erstwhile colonial administration to give sound and honest counsel of a political nature to its liberated territories." Close quote. We must therefore continue to strengthen our bonds of solidarity and camaraderie. This must be steeped in ideological precision and renewal. That renewal requires the strengthening of institutions of democratic governance. Thus, tonight, let us rededicate ourselves not to nostalgia, but to renewal, not to memorials alone, but to undertake movement building. We must modernize, professionalize, and democratize our parties and ensure that our values do not decay with time. We must be vigilant, we must be united, and we must be ideologically clear. Comrades, we recently bade farewell to the founding father of Namibia, Comrade Sam Nujoma, who reminded us that the struggle for our independence has not been easy. It was a long and bitter one, but we triumphed. Let us not betray it. Close quote. Consequently, we must remember that Pan-Africanism was not a luxury. It was survival. Today, it is necessity. We must build African value chains, harmonize policy frameworks, invest in youth across borders, and protect our continent's sovereignty from both external and internal threats. In that guise, Comrade Nujoma calls for our conscience. We dare not betray the struggle, not with our silence, not with inaction, not with complicity in systems of inequality. Our struggle must now be against poverty that feels permanent, inequality that has been normalized, unemployment that persists, corruption that kills trust, violence that terrorizes women and children, and climate injustice that threatens our lands. We must also regenerate the cadreship of our movements. The youth must not only be mobilized, they must be empowered, educated, trusted, and listened to. Let us create a space for the next Sankaras, the next Bigos, Mbuya, Nehanda, the next Queen Nzingas, not to quote, but to lead. Compatriots, let us reaffirm that what brought us here, the dignity of the African, that no child should be born into inferiority, that no land should be controlled by the greedy, that no voice should be silenced by repression and hunger. Our comrades deployed in government must accelerate efforts to resolve these critical issues. We must be committed to addressing the root causes of conflict, including poverty, inequality, underdevelopment, and promotion of inclusive political dialogue. Collectively, we must recommit to the creation of an Africa that we want, with strong and ethical leadership, with good governance, democracy, and respect for human rights. An Africa that upholds the rule of law and serves justice. The Africa we long for is the one that has shared values and a strong cultural identity. We aspire for an Africa that is united and influential as a global player and partner. This will require that we put away our fancy apparel and get dirty to find lasting solutions. As Pan-Africanists, we call for African solutions for Africa's challenges. Ultimately, whatever contribution we can make requires partnership and collaboration from all fronts, as we can only support our regions and Africa's transformation by working together. It is imperative that we build a better Africa and a better world that is free from the shackles of underdevelopment and the legacy of colonialism by establishing and sustaining friendships, working towards peace and stability in the continent and the world, and improving economic relations. Unfortunately, the face of poverty in Africa remains a black woman with a child on her back. This situation has led to many of our black and female citizens being inactive participants in the economy. According to AU report, in Africa, the informal cross-border sector is estimated to represent 43% of official gross domestic product, GDP. This presents a unique opportunity to formalize this sector as we move towards integrating our economies. This sector is cardinal in realizing the objectives of the African Continental Free Trade Area and Agenda 2063. We must also talk about complex issues that continue to divide our nations, because failure to do so means we are regressing and moving further away from building and uniting our countries. Social cohesion and economic development necessitate our support for the stabilization of our nations. Our people need to have their hope and aspirations restored through visible action and tangible improvements in their material conditions. These are the conditions required to foster social cohesion and economic empowerment, which will result in the prosperity of our countries. This year, the 70th anniversary of South Africa's adoption of the Freedom Charter will be celebrated. The ANC and its allies adopted the Freedom Charter, characterized by its opening demand, the people shall govern. We should ask ourselves at this moment whether or not we have made any headway in the process of putting the Freedom Charter into effect, securing our country's prosperities. Program Director, tonight, as we gather to celebrate the wisdom of the ages, let us draw inspiration from the outstanding leaders and visionaries who have paved the way for us. Let us recommit ourselves to the noble ideas of the liberation movements and work towards a brighter and a more prosperous future for all Africans. Compatriots, in closing, let us remember the words of the father of our nation, former President Nelson Mandela, who once said, "It always seems impossible until it is done." Close quote. Together we can overcome any obstacle and achieve greatness of our continent and our people. Let us march forward with determination, unity, and resilience, knowing that the spirit of liberation will guide us towards a brighter tomorrow. Let the dinner not be the end of a conversation, but the beginning of a new coordination of liberation movements to defend the people once more, from the boardrooms, the parliaments, and the trenches of poverty and injustice. Our duty is to keep the idea of freedom alive. Not the freedom to exploit, but the freedom to become. The freedom to live with dignity, in peace, with equal opportunities. Long live the spirit of Africa's liberation. Long live. Long live revolutionary unity. Long live. Aluta.
Thank you very much, Deputy President, Comrade Paul Mashatile. Another round of applause. As I invite to the podium the Treasurer General of the ANC, Comrade Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa, the Secretary General of the ANC, the Secretary General of the Veterans League, the Secretary General of the Women's League, the President of the Youth League. If you could all join us here, Kulegani, if you may bring. And may we invite Comrade President Chissano also to the podium. Thank you very much to the band. Comrades and friends, we're going to invite the Deputy President and the leadership of the ANC to hand over a token of appreciation on behalf of the ANC and all our comrades gathered here to our father, our leader, the veteran, the elder, a token of appreciation that the ANC wants to hand over to you. Did you see it, President? You can come and see it. Thank you very much, Comrade President. Thanks, SG. Thanks, Deputy President. You may bring the podium, Watu. Yes, you may go back to your seats. Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade President Chissano, Deputy President, SG of the ANC, SG of the Women's League, President of the Youth League, our Treasurer General, Comrade Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa. Thank you very much. Without any further waste of time, we're now going to invite, on behalf of the Collective of Secretaries General, Comrade Mizengo Kayanza Pinda, the head of CCM delegation here, to come and propose a toast. If you may come to the podium, Comrade Mizenga. Can our leaders be assisted with, if we could all pour a bit of what we have and let's share with the proposed representative of Secretaries General from Chama Chama Mapenduzi.
Excellencies, Your Excellencies, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on a very, very short assignment. But I thought maybe before I do the job I'm supposed to do, that maybe I should say just a few lines now that I've got this opportunity. Your Excellencies, distinguished comrades, ladies and gentlemen, I bring warm greetings and fraternal solidarity to the comrades on behalf of the chairperson of Chama Cha Mapinduzi, CCM, and President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassani. She could not make it because of other important exercise that is being carried out in our country. Today, we are not just gathered as representatives of parties. We are brothers and sisters, united by a shared history of struggle, sacrifice, and the enduring dream of a free and a prosperous Africa. Let this evening remind us that our liberation movements, though born in resistance, must now rise as champions of transformation for peace, justice, equality, and dignity for all our people. As we celebrate our past, may we renew our shared commitment to a united and sovereign Africa, led by visionary leadership, inspired by Pan-African ideals, and driven by the hopes of our youth. To enduring friendship, shared purpose, and a future worthy of our struggle, I invite you all to raise your glasses, if there is water or a beer, whatever. Let's raise these glasses. Okay? But I think what we'll do, it may not necessarily be all of them. I'll just choose one table there, in the middle one, and on this one, one. These will represent the rest. They will come and, toss glasses to the leaders who are seated in the high table, just to make the evening better and better. So, and it is to freedom, unity, and African progress. That's what we are aiming at. Cheers. Wow. It is to freedom, unity, and African progress. Cheers. Can see karibu wote bado kidogo. It's for freedom, unity, and African progress. Cheers. Thank you very much.
I need to toast with you.
Oh, that's why you don't go there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Without any further waste of time, having had a warm and inspiring toast, we're now going to have our dinner served and invite the band then to entertain us. Bon appetit.
Tanai, 3 times. Tanai, 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 bo. Chesa, 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 chesa. Elele Tanai, bo. Elele Tanai, 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 bo. Tanai, bo. Elele Tanai, Elele Tanai, 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 bo. Tanai, bo. Elele
Thank you very much to the band, our band. We're now going to invite our young woman, Konai, to also come and render 3 items, and then we'll move towards the vote of thanks so that we may retire and be fresh and awake tomorrow morning. Comrade Sophia, I want to see you in the stage. There's a demand. Once you are done, yes, my sister. Konai, please come, Sisi.
Yoy, 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 yoy. Yoy, 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 Yo, Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguNgqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguNgqongqothwane. Bayakhuzwa mama, bathi indlela ibuzwa kumhambi. Bayakhuzwa mama, bathi indlela ibuzwa kumhambi. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguNgqongqothwane. Igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguNgqongqothwane. Bayakhuzwa mama, bathi indlela ibuzwa kumhambi. Bayakhuzwa mama, bathi indlela ibuzwa kumhambi. Iyo, 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 iyo. Izengekho, izengekho, izengekho ebomvu. Zosebenzela ekhaya, zosebenzela ekhaya. Izengekho ebomvu. Izengekho, izengekho ebomvu. Zosebenzela ekhaya, zosebenzela ekhaya. Izengekho ebomvu. Yo yo yo, yo 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 yo, 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 yo yo yo, yo 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 yo. Please clap with me. Yo yo yo, yo 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 yo. Please clap with me. Yo yo yo, yo 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 yo. Please clap with me. Yo yo yo, yo 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 yo. 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 Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To all the respectable people that are here, good evening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. My name is Konaye, Ukonanaye, also with us. That was Ikombi. The next one is called Ziboyanini. Inkomo zasekhaya kuzoba mnandi. Ziboyanini inkomo zasekhaya kuzoba mnandi. Ziboyanini inkomo zasekhaya kuzoba mnandi. Tilahle kelwe lunqumholo, tilahle kelwe iyo yonke into bedinayo. Ziboyanini inkomo zasekhaya kuzoba nina zase kayinkomo yebonakala nini yamindlela ubonakala nini umsebenzi wesandla sakho. Sebuya nini, sebuya nini ngoma, 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 sebuya nini. Sebuya nini ngoma zase kaya kuzoba mnandi. Sebuya nini ngoma zase kaya kuzoba mnandi. Tilale kelele ngombolwa, tilale kelele yo yongidobe yayo. So my last song is called Dali Dali. For this particular song, I would like to request someone to dance with me. Anyone, please volunteer yourself before I choose for myself. Just one gentleman to dance with, please. Ngenye mini titesinguni natibana nawe wena maitali Jumil onozagu bako wena maitali Tikukangela wena maitali nyani hungu tali 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 eseli tana sami mbuwe tali 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 eseli tana sami mbuwe tali 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 eseli tana sami mbuwe tali uzu kumieni wanda tata wabantwana bami wena maitali jomela onozagu bako wena maitali kutela tikukangela wena maitali nyani hungu tali 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 eseli tana sami nguwe tali 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 eseli tana sami nguwe tali Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Coming from the heartlands of the northern province of our country, and most of us in here who come from the heartlands of our country, where plowing for subsistence is the order of the day. We want to wish all those areas of our country which depend on rain, showers, and not storms of rain. Let it fall. Let the rain come. Pula. 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 Yana pula, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yana pula, yeah. Yana kelele yana. Yana pulaye yana. Aine pulaye inele mafatsi ohle yana. Yana pulaye yana. Haine yamidu behind yana. Haine hey yana. Haine bula yamidu bi. Haine yana. Bula yamidu bi haine.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lindy. Thank you very much. We just had our dessert and a sumptuous dinner. If we may be seated. Lindy, yes, help me. Thank you very much. Betani, if you may help me. Thank you very much. We have now come to the end of our program. Comrades here behind that flower, Dakota, please get seated. You came late. May I take this opportunity and share with all delegates, observers, participants to tomorrow's program. Our program is going to start at 9 o'clock. This very hall will be the conference venue. And we know that many comrades have been traveling. Others have just arrived this afternoon. It will be proper that we all retire early, so that we may be fresh, awake, and be productive tomorrow. And therefore, I'm going to allow the high table to take leave. Deputy President, President Chissano, Secretaries General, you may take leave at your own appropriate time. We are told that the bar is open, but we are going to open it just for 30 minutes. Yes, for 30 minutes. Tomorrow's business is the main business. I want to thank everybody, our volunteers who have put together tonight's dinner, volunteers from the ANC, volunteers from our different embassies, coming from the 6 sister parties who have worked with us in pulling tonight's dinner, our comrades and friends who have also availed themselves to drive our leaders from the airport to here. We really want to thank you. We have leaders who are also arriving tomorrow morning. They will be picked up, and if there's any delegation that has not confirmed arrival, do communicate with Kulegani and Nandipa together with Obakeng in the group. On that note, once more we wish to thank each and every one, our volunteers. The artists who have performed here are also volunteers who have come here to support this initiative, the renewal and our unity. And I really wish that we give all the volunteers who are working here today, who made it possible, a big round of applause. To the host, you may take leave so that then your guests may also take leave. You are not part of us tonight. So please take leave so that then your guests can also take leave. Good night, comrades. Have a peaceful sleep. Thank you, Siabong. We may play music.